Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Nadine and I'm a qualified midwife here working in the UK. So in today's video, I'll be talking about ways you can cope with stress and anxiety as a student midwife. So there's a lot of things going on in the world of midwifery at the moment. If you guys have seen it in the newspapers or in the news, so many student midwives are either dropping out of uni completely and not finishing their degree course because of the added stress and pressure that comes with being a student midwife. And some students are either taking a year out, taking a gap, or deferring the year because of the added stress and pressure of being a student midwife. So midwifery is not easy. I don't sugarcoat it here on my channel. There's a lot of things that you need to do as a student midwife, and this could cause so many students to be in a lot of pressure and a lot of stress, therefore having a very bad experience either out on placement or during the university period. So in this video, I'll be giving you guys tips on how you can avoid the added pressure and stress that comes with being a student midwife, and how you can best navigate your time as a student midwife. These tips helped me when I was a student midwife navigating the world of midwifery for the first time, and you guys know I have shared it before that my third year was my hardest year. I even had a moment where I broke down in front of my CPF crying and literally having the worst time of my life. But with these tips, hopefully you guys can have a better experience and you guys can better cope with the added stress and pressure that comes with being a student midwife. So without further ado, let's get started with the tips that I would recommend for you guys as student midwives. So my first and most important tip that I would suggest and recommend as student midwife is to stay organized. When you are organized during your time on the course, things will make a lot more sense for you guys. So what I mean by staying organized is make sure that you have everything that you need to do mapped out and planned as you go along in the years that you are training to become a student midwife. So when you are at uni and you're handed assignments or you're having deadlines and they've given you dates for essays, for exams, make sure that you stay on top of everything and you are organized in terms of when things are due, when things need to be revised for, and when things need to be handed in. So what I could recommend that you guys do is make a to-do list. If you make a to-do list, it makes things a lot easier. You are able to then prioritize and make sure you are staying on top of everything that you need to do. So for example, if you have an assignment that is due and you're also out on placement, make sure you make a to-do list of when you'll sit down and actually revise for that assignment or start planning for that assignment and start getting your research material for that assignment. If you are organized in that way, life will be a lot easier for you. You won't be all over the place. Things won't be hectic. Things won't be flying at you at different angles. If you stay on top of things and you stay organized and you make your to-do list and you basically plan your time throughout your university degree course, things will be a lot easier for you. So what I would suggest is stay organized so that you can stay on top of things, so that you can better plan your days, plan your time, and your time will be more effective. And if things are better planned and better organized, your life will be less stressful and less chaotic because you have your deadlines planned, you have your study time planned, you have your timetable for placement planned, you know when you're in, you know when you have your days off, and on your days off you've planned when you're going to revise, when you're going to go to the library, when you're going to sit to basically read through your notes for university and things like that. So my first and most important tip is to stay organized as a student midwife, because it will make your life a lot easier when things are not all over the place and very chaotic. The more organized you are, the less stressed you'll be, the more time you'll have to actually get things done because you're staying on top of things, you're making to-do lists, you're actually planning out and mapping out your time as a student midwife, which will make your life a lot easier. So that is my first and most important tip, is to stay organized. So my next tip is to take a break. This could mean take a break while you are on placement. Make sure you are having your allocated break time and you're not working those 12-hour shifts with no break. Make sure you are taking a break. Either you're taking a break at work or on placement, you are taking a break when you are at uni. Take some time out from your studying, from your university life, from your placement life, and actually take a break, take a breather, take a day off where you are not studying, where you're not thinking about midwifery, and you're just taking a break from everything that is going on in terms of your university life. Breaks are important and you need to give yourself time time to adjust to whatever is going on in your life, whether it's placement, whether it's the long hours, whether it's the night shift patterns. You need to take time out for yourself to take a break. And if you're not given that break, make sure you voice your concerns. Let your university know, let your CPF know that you are not being allocated a break. So a break is very important. You need to give yourself some grace, some time to basically take a breather and take everything in and just basically relax, unwind, so that you can basically start again and start afresh. I think a break is very, very important. So make sure that you are having your allocated break, or you are taking time out. If you are at university, you're taking time out and taking a break. Midwifery shouldn't be your whole life and everything to beginning and end. Make sure you take the time out, take the break for yourself, as taking a break will help you in the long run because you won't be overworked and exhausted. Therefore, you can control your mind better. You are feeling a lot better. You're not exhausted. You're taking some time out to breathe and basically adjust to the new normal, to your new life of being a student midwife. So my next and most important tip is to take a break and make sure you have your allocated breaks as a student midwife. So my next tip is basically around placement, and also it's important while you're at university, but mainly on placement, is to stay hydrated and make sure you eat. Have your breakfast in the morning before you go on placement, and make sure you take some water with you so you can stay hydrated while on each shift. If you are dehydrated, you're starving, you haven't eaten anything all day, you're gonna feel weak, you're gonna be in a bad mood. So make sure you stay hydrated and you eat well every single time you go on shift, and also during your shift. Have a bottle of water with you, and if you don't have a bottle of water, excuse yourself to go and get some water, some refreshment while you're at work. It's so important that you stay hydrated and you eat well while you're on shift, because you feel a lot better and you won't feel very weak, you won't feel very lethargic because you haven't drank anything, you haven't eaten anything. And I will highly suggest that you eat and hydrate every single time that you are out on placement, because you will be mentally drained. Therefore, you need to make sure that you are physically energized and physically hydrated, and you've eaten and you're not hungry, so that you can basically do the 12-hour shifts, you can do the night shifts, you can do those long hours. If you're not getting any breaks, which I say you need to have your breaks, but if you're not getting your breaks, you need to say something so you can just grab something to eat, have some water, so that you're feeling refreshed and you have the energy to keep going. If you're feeling weak, if you're feeling lethargic, it will also affect you mentally, and you will be mentally drained because you haven't eaten anything, you're not hydrated. So my next thing is to stay hydrated and make sure you eat well every single time you are out on placement. So my next tip that I would recommend is to ask for help. If you are struggling, you feel like there's a lot going on that you are not coping with, you have a lot of people around you within your university and on placement that you can go to if you want help, make sure you ask for help. If you can't meet the deadlines because there's a lot going on with your life at home, with everything else going on with placement, make sure you ask for help. They can either give you an extension or go through the work with you, so you are not struggling on your own. And if you can't handle the pressures of placement, there's a lot going on, so many competencies that you need to get signed, so many signatures that you need to get, make sure you go to your CPFs or your mentors or other midwives and ask for help so that they can help you accordingly. There's so many people around you, whether they're in university or at the placement, that can actually offer you support and help. Make sure that you are utilizing those people and not suffering in silence. So what I would say is make sure you ask for help when you need it, and do not suffer in silence, because it will only make things a lot harder for you. So make sure you use everyone around you that is offering you help, and make sure that you seek the help that you want and that you need. And if you are not getting it by those people that you're going to, make sure you put it in writing and make sure you basically escalate it to someone until you are getting the support that you need. So I would recommend that you don't suffer in silence and seek the help that you need as a student midwife. So another way you guys can reduce the level of stress and tension that you guys are under as student midwife is by expanding your knowledge. And what I mean by expanding your knowledge is basically reading around the things that you are unsure about or things that you don't know about. The more that you learn and the more that you basically find out for yourself will make your life a lot easier. So basically expand your knowledge on areas that you need improvement and areas that you don't know things about. Expand your knowledge as a student midwife and it will make your life a lot easier. The more that you know, the more you'll feel comfortable going on to placement or going on to uni and studying and going into those lectures. The more that you actually read around the topics that you are studying within university, the more you'll be comfortable going out on placement and dealing with new situations and new scenarios. So what I'd recommend is expand your knowledge, because you'll feel more comfortable and more knowledgeable going out on placement and having to deal with the day-to-day things that come at you as student midwife. So the more that you know, the better it will be for you, and the less stressed and anxious you'll be around different conditions, different scenarios, and you'll basically have a better experience because you know more and you're expanding your knowledge and you're basically getting those competencies signed, you're being assessed and you know what you're being assessed about and you know what you're talking about and you know what you're doing. And the more that you know will basically make your life a lot easier as you navigate the world of midwifery and become a qualified midwife. You'll basically be stress-free because you know a lot around the world of midwifery and around things that you see on a day-to-day basis as a student midwife. So just expand your knowledge, do your reading around what you see at university, have a logbook of new conditions that you see, new scenarios that you see, new emergency techniques. The more you expand your knowledge, the more comfortable you'll be in your environment and the more comfortable you'll be as a student midwife. So another thing that you guys can do to help you better navigate the world of midwifery as a student midwife is to write things down and reflect on your journey or things that you see and you encounter as a student midwife. So these are things that I did when I was a student midwife. I would reflect on big events that I see or things that I didn't know about. I'll go home, write about it, reflect what should have been done, what could I have done, what does a midwife do, what do I do in this kind of situation, what did I do well, what did I not do well, and things like that. So if you write things down and reflect on your journey and on your experience and things that you see, it will make your life a lot easier because you have encountered it, you have reflected on it, and you have basically written down the points where you can better improve or things that you already knew. So reflect on your journey, reflect on your time. This will basically put your mind at ease because you have reflected on something that was either traumatic or on something that you was unsure about, something that you have never seen or weren't ready for. Reflecting back on an experience or something that you've seen, it will help you better understand on how to cope with this situation if it ever came about or if you ever were put in that situation ever again. So writing things down and reflecting will help you navigate the world of midwifery as a student midwife, as it helps you build on your experience and on your knowledge and how you can better prepare if that situation ever occur or should ever occur again. So write things down, reflect on what you see, what you do, so that you are better prepared and you are more comfortable around certain situations. Then you'll know what to do and what shouldn't be done in certain situations. So write things down and reflect. So another thing that you can do as student midwives is do something that you enjoy so that you have time to escape the pressures that comes with being a student midwife. So days that you have off and days that you have annual leave or you have a week off, you have a couple of weeks off or a day off, make sure you do something that you enjoy and that you love so that you can escape the pressures of day-to-day life as a student midwife. So if you enjoy things like going out with your friends, going out to restaurants, meeting up with your family, babysitting your favorite niece or nephew, anything that you enjoy doing, make sure you take some time out and do what you love and do what you enjoy so that you can just take some time out of the pressures of being a student midwife. When I was a student midwife, things that I would do often is see my friends on the weekend or see my friends when I have annual leave or when I have days off. Make sure that I basically reconnect with them and basically take my mind off the world of midwifery and what's going on a day-to-day life as a student midwife. So take that time out and escape the realities, escape the pressures and stress of what you have to deal with as a student midwife so that you can basically have a peace of mind, a clean slate. When you go back to university or back on placement, you've basically had some time away so that you can restart and go back to what you're doing as a student midwife. midwife. So take some time out, escape and do something that you love and enjoy, so that you are not constantly thinking about midwifery. Make sure you do something that you love and enjoy outside of midwifery, for you and for your own peace of mind, and also for your mental health. Make sure you have that time to basically escape the pressures that come with being a student midwife. So the last and final coping technique that I would suggest for you guys is make sure you have a support group or a social support group outside midwifery and also within your midwifery. So within your midwifery, for example, when I was a student midwife, I had a support system or support group within my peers, with the people that I was on the course with. So we created a group where we can basically talk about what's been going on placement, what's been going on in university, how our exams were, what we needed help with. We basically supported each other in that group whenever we were feeling stressed or confused, unsure about things, or we just needed someone to talk to that can actually relate to what's going on, because they're also going through the same thing as I was. So having that support system within that university really helped me in terms of talking about my feelings, what I experienced, what I had to go through, and they can tell me about their experiences, and we can basically learn together, we can exchange ideas, we can talk about assignments, what went well, what we needed help with, we can revise together, we can study together, we can sit down and do assignments together. So having a support group or a support system within university really helped me, and I would recommend that you build a support system within the university. And if you don't have that sort of support system within the university, because obviously people have different lives, you might not be able to connect with people on the same level, or you don't have that support system or that friendship within university, then I would recommend to have a support system socially outside university. So people that you can go to when you're struggling, when you need to basically talk to them about how you feel, about how things are going. If you're stressed, if you're anxious or worried about things, you have people outside of midwifery, outside of university, that you can go to for support. It could be your siblings, it could be your parents, it could be your friends who are outside of the course that you can basically go to and have a chat with, and they basically can help you navigate your feelings, your thoughts, and how things are going for you. So make sure you have that support system, whether it's with university friends or placement friends, or whether it's people outside of your university world, whether they're friends, whether they're family outside of university. Having that support system would really help you as a student midwife, basically navigating the world of midwifery, because you're going to need people to talk to, you're going to need people to uplift you, you're going to need people to basically be in your corner fighting for you and basically encouraging you to keep going and not to give up. So having that support system helped me, and I would recommend that you have that sort of support system, whether it's university or outside. So that is it for today's video. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video and have taken something from it. So these tips are basically just to help you navigate the world of midwifery. It may not take all the stress away, but hopefully it will make things a lot easier for you guys. Feel free to leave some questions in the comment section below, as I'll be answering questions in each and every video that I upload. I'll start doing a question of the week in every single video that I upload, so please do leave your questions. I do see them and I do try and answer all your questions, but just leave them down below, as I'll be answering them in every single question that I upload from now on. But I'll see you guys in my next video, which will hopefully be soon, hopefully uploading on Sunday. So I'm currently trying to do 2 videos a week, Sunday and Wednesday, so make sure you watch out for those. Hit the subscribe button if you're not subscribed already, and also hit that like button so that I know you guys are enjoying my content. So until then guys, I will see you guys in my next video. So stay safe, make sure you guys are doing the coping techniques that I've discussed, so that you guys can have a positive journey as you go through the world of midwifery as a student midwife, and I'll be seeing you guys in my next video. So until then guys, bye for now.